Afternoon, everyone. How are you today? This is Finding Your Voice, and I'm Shannon, and I just wanted to touch on something that really had a profound impact on me yesterday. For some of you, it might seem minimal, yet for me, right where I was at that very moment, it had a pretty big, profound impact. Yesterday started off great for me, and I felt good, I felt I was on track, and I was taking care of business. And then about midday through my work shift, I work from home, and the wind, as you guys saw in yesterday's video, was so intense that it actually kind of knocked out my internet. And I kept trying and trying, and then from that point on, I just started getting really frustrated. And then everything from that point just kind of went downhill. Now, granted, a lot of that is my own doing because I chose to react versus respond. And I'll get into what that means on another video at another time. When my daughter and our housemate got home, I was just on the verge of wanting to throw things and just I'm just going to say I was losing my shit over something stupid. And a few minutes later, my daughter walks into the kitchen and she looked at me with probably the most heartfelt 3 words I had heard maybe ever. And she looked at me with the most compassion and she said, "I appreciate you, Mom." Actually, let me rephrase that. She said, "I appreciate you." And I didn't really think much of it at the time because I was still in the heat of my emotions. And sometimes we take words and we really don't think about them. And then when I was finally able, roughly an hour later, to sit down and I was kind of just still in a mood, it hit me. And I looked over at her and I said, "Thank you." And she's like, "For what?" I said, "Your words had a really big impact on me, and I just am now realizing." And I started to tear up, and I was like, I don't know why this is hitting me so hard. I don't know why these emotions are raging the way they are, and I just don't understand. And she said in her old wisdom for such a young woman, she said, "Maybe it's because you haven't heard it much." And that's when the dam broke. Even sitting here looking at this amazing view, the dam is trying to break. And I'm like, nope, I got to get through this. And I realized, she was right. And in the same breath of realizing that, yeah, she's right, I didn't hear those words often, I realize probably a lot of people don't hear those words anymore because we have become so disconnected. We rely so heavily on technology and so heavily on, oh, we have all these friends, and reality, do we? Or have we become so reliant on technology that we forget those face to face encounters and we just say, "I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate for the little things you do," because in somebody's life, those little things may be huge. So, if you got this far, I want to say thank you. Thank you for whatever role you've played in my life to allow me to do this. And I want to say I appreciate you. And granted, you may not feel the the weight of those words the way I did last night, yet I do. For whatever role, how small or how big, you are greatly appreciated. And I thank you. I hope you have a blessed day. And I hope that you can take this and pass it along to somebody you appreciate.